Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of UFOs and other paranormal stuff. Well, it's been some time, hasn't it? But I think now is high time we got back together and started looking into UFOs and other paranormal things once again. Just before we start on this episode, I wanted to mention the last episode that we did, Time Slips 2. I have been keeping an eye on that one over the summer and it has reached all the way up to number 2 in this podcast's list of most popular episodes, second only to the first Time Slips episode that I made over 2 years ago. Another famous podcast turned into a TV show here in the UK produced an episode about Time Slips 2 and the communications that they received about that particular phenomena from the listening public and the watching public was amazing and had so far trumped other subjects that they had covered. I would love to know why time slips seem to be so popular. Do you think it could be a real phenomenon that people go through but only realise after it has happened? I do remember reading A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking back in my brainiac years. And I'm pretty sure that he wrote that wormholes can be anywhere. They can in fact be right above us and we would never know. Please bear with me that this was, like I said, a very long time ago, and I cannot remember the exact words that he used. Chapter 10 of the book is called Wormholes and Time Travel, and discusses the intriguing question of time travel, hopping into the future or taking a little walk down memory lane. He unpacks how physicists have rolled up their sleeves, brainstorming ways for us, equipped with futuristic tech, to break the speed of light, or to do the ultimate, rewind. I do wonder, all these years later, if throughout the chapter and the book, Hawking may be alluding to the possibility that these Einstein-Rosen bridges that we commonly know as wormholes may be completely invisible and may actually have the ability to send us back in time, only maybe for a few minutes or moments, if we ever came across one. I have spoken about Bold Street in Liverpool once or twice, but it seems that many people have experienced time slips in that location. Could it be that at some point along that street is an entrance to an Einstein-Rosen bridge, a wormhole, and that maybe some people are resonating on the exact frequency that it needs to become active, if only for a few short moments, maybe longer, who knows. I am definitely not a scientist, that is obvious to anyone who knows me, but if Stephen Hawking sounds like he was talking about it in a book first written back in 1988, and still being published now, then we could be onto something. What are your thoughts on time travel and time slips? Do you think that they could be real and maybe have something to do with wormholes? Please let me know by getting in touch via the Facebook page and the Facebook group, Twitter or X if you like, or even better by going to the website www.ufosandops.com and leaving me a direct message through that. I would really love to hear your thoughts. You can also visit our merchandise shop at the website. Please feel free to have a look there for any Christmas items you may wish to buy for the paranormal person in your life. We will be running some discounts, so keep an eye wide open for them. In fact, we have added some new items for all the designs. Order now to avoid disappointment. Another thing to mention, as it has actually just come into me as I record these words, the United States has found at least 10 alien bodies in crashed UFOs, said a whistleblower. That headline is according to the Metro newspaper here in the United Kingdom, and the article by Catherine Fiddler dating from Friday the 24th of November 2023 says, a military whistleblower says that the United States government has retrieved at least 10 alien bodies from crashed UFOs. Speaking on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, David Charles Grush, we've all heard that name before, said that the number of crashes recorded was in double digits and that the number of extraterrestrial bodies recovered was up there as well, just like with the retrievals. Former US intelligence officer Mr. Grush stunned the world earlier this year when alleging the government had evidence of intact and partially intact alien vehicles. The revelations led in part to a special congressional hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs, or as we know them as UFOs, at which Mr. Grush and 2 other witnesses testified. Under oath, he repeated his claims, adding that people had been harmed in an attempt to cover up the information. Speaking to controversial podcast host Mr. Rogan earlier this week, Mr. Grush spent more than 2.5 hours discussing his claims and experiences with UAP. Asked how many biological entities had been found, he said, "A variety, and we have a certain number of different things. But the total numbers of what's interacting with us on Earth, no one knows that," he added. "I talk to people who are familiar with the biological analysis and everything, so we have some idea, not a complete picture, because it's like you're looking at it. It's like, well, I don't even understand the physiology at all. It's like, what the heck? It's way different." However, he was unable to confirm where the crashes had occurred. Please do feel free to head over to metro.co.uk and have a look at the rest of that article. Then head over to our website www.ufosandops.com to let me know what you think. I would very much like to read out some of your thoughts on this subject. One does wonder if, with all this whistleblowing that's going on currently, we might be edging ever closer to full disclosure. But it does seem like the carrot in front of the horse is always there, but it never actually does get closer. Now onto this week's episode's subject of Kenny Veach. The name was told to me a few months back, and I was told that the story of Mr. Veach may interest me. The more I researched it, and there is not lots of information out there that can be researched, that's why this episode has taken quite a long time to prepare, the more I became interested. And I decided to put together what I have and make it into this episode. However, there are a few people out there that claim that this story of Kenny Veach is in fact a hoax. But then virtually every story that comes under the umbrella of paranormal or ufology or aliens or anything like that has someone saying that it's a hoax. So what I will do today, as usual, is tell you the story of Kenny Veach as we know it. And then, in the words of Marcus Bentley from the Big Brother TV series, you decide. And always let me know what you decide. 47-year-old Kenny Veach was a hiker who vanished in 2014 after exploring a weird cave not too far from the infamous Area 51 military base in Nevada, USA. He was an experienced hiker who was very active, fit and healthy by all accounts. He loved hiking. He loved hiking alone and at times with other people. As a hiker myself, I can completely understand that going alone is so therapeutic. Going with people, well, that's just social and it's really good. But it is so good for your fitness and your mental health. So if you have a path outside your house or somewhere, go for a walk, go for a hike. Kenny Veach once said, "I solo hike across mountain tops that most people wouldn't dare go to. I have been in more caves than I can count. I play with rattlesnakes for fun. But this one particular cave was beyond anything I've ever encountered." Let me just put this out there, ladies and gentlemen. Don't play with rattlesnakes. If you see a rattlesnake, just calmly walk away. If it comes after you, run. Don't play with it. Kenny Veach was an avid YouTuber too, and he would take his camera and post videos from his hikes. His videos include Shark Tank Submission, which I believe was an American game show some years ago, Glola Bear, and Handsome Cowboy sells himself with his home. Interesting. He had an interesting favourites list, which included the Osmonds. Another of his videos is entitled M Cave Hike. This is the cave that Kenny reportedly disappeared at. That said, these are not the videos where the whole thing started. Apparently Kenny Veach has discovered the cave beforehand, but commented on another video entitled Son of Area 51 Technician, by serious disclosure. Now, if you go onto YouTube and you type in serious disclosure, SIRIUS disclosure, you will see a picture of a gentleman known as Stephen Greer. Stephen Greer is high up on the list of ufologists. He's one of those people who's changed his career, if you like, to try and find out more about ufology. I think he completely believes in it. He has stated that he has known people that have been disappeared, shall we say. If you go through his documentaries, he has known people that have disappeared for whatever reason, by government forces, by aliens, who knows. Could the very fact that Kenny Veach had gone that close to Area 51 and been involved, even through just commenting on YouTube with Stephen Greer, could that have made him somebody of interest, somebody who they wanted to be disappeared? Not blaming Stephen Greer at all in his disappearance. Of course, I don't believe that he had anything to do with that. But is there a link there between Kenny Veach and, I don't know, the government trying to disappear people who get too close to finding out something that they shouldn't know? Anyway, Kenny Veach's comment under the YouTube handle that he used, SnakeBitMG, he says, "That ain't nothing. I'm a long-distance hiker. One time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital letter M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me." It was this comment that sparked interest in the mysterious M cave. People wanted to know everything about it. Many wanted Veach to return to the cave, but this time to enter into it. He did. Veach set up with a handgun and a camera, and upon his return uploaded the video of his discoveries to YouTube. The video is the infamous M Cave hike video. However, and to the dismay of many, he was unable to find the M Cave. Sadly, the video did not reveal any clues either. Viewers encouraged him to go back and try again and see if he could find the cave. Veach again obliged. Why not? He liked hiking, so any excuse to go out again and again would surely be met with excitement by Kenny Veach. But one comment stood out. A comment left by Lemmy Kilmister. And it said, "No, don't go back there. If you find the cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." To which Veach asked, "What makes you say that?" There was no response. Ignoring the warning, Veach packed his handgun and video camera and set out for this, his final hike, on the 10th of November 2014. He never came back. Some days after he left, his family reported him missing and a search was launched. The authorities found his phone close to an abandoned mine shaft, but they could find no trace of him. After several weeks, the search was called off. Kenny Veach could not be found. Some people have theorized that Veach entered the M Cave and met with some unknown fate. Some mentioned that he may have committed suicide and that he abandoned his phone to avoid tracking. Just before he went missing, he quit his job, and his girlfriend reported that he did suffer from depression. However, some people have said that Kenny was in fact murdered by the government. They believe that the M Cave he found was an entrance to a top-secret government facility due to its close proximity to the Nellis Air Force Base and the other controversial base out in Nevada, Area 51. They say that the vibrating sensation that Veach felt when he stood near to the cave was a defence mechanism used by the government to keep people out of places that they shouldn't be. There are some people who think that the M Cave is a portal and that vibrating sensation was that portal being active and maybe ready to bring Veach to wherever the other side of the portal was. Remember what I said about wormholes and time slips just before? Maybe this one took him to an altogether different place or different time. Unfortunately, the case goes cold from that point on, and so sadly I can add nothing to the story. Kenny Veach has never been found, despite many attempts, both official and non-official, to try to find him. However, here is where you come in. Remember at the start I did say that some people believe that this is a hoax. Kenny Veach may still be alive somewhere. What do you think about this case? Was it all a great big hoax or not? Did Kenny Veach really find a strange vibrating M-cave? And if he did, what happened thereafter? Please do let me know. Me and thousands of other people want to know. They really do. I really want to know what you think. If you do know anything about this case or where Kenny Veach may be now, do get in touch with the local police and let them know. Then tell us here. We will handle your message with complete anonymity at www.ufosandops.com is where you'll find the contact form. That, ladies and gentlemen, is all for today, and I very much look forward to speaking to you about other UFOs and other paranormal stuff in the very near future. But in the meantime, thank you very much for listening. Please do like and review the show because that really helps me get this show to where we want it to go to. And please do share the show to your friends and family too. Until next time, stay safe and talk soon. Bye bye.